Welcome to Archeotech Assimilation, where we discover and investigate the technology of the Imperium and the tools of chaos.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Archeotech Assimilation. And today I'm joined by, well, it's just me today, so hopefully you'll get by whilst we go through it. And as usual, in this series, we look at all of the things related to Warhammer, Warhammer 40k specifically, and the things that are maybe to the side of the main game itself. And continuing our series, I'll be going through the latest episode of Angels of Death from Warhammer Plus. And so this is episode 8, entitled Rise. And so we're just going to quickly go through and cover off what's happened in the story to date, what I liked about it, what maybe I didn't like about it, and what direction we think it could be going in. This will be spoiler heavy, so if you are interested in keeping it spoiler free, I suggest stop, go and watch Warhammer Plus, go and watch Angels of Death, then come back and see whether you agree with my take on it. Obviously, if you don't have Warhammer Plus, or you're just looking to keep updated via our coverage, then please keep listening and do let us know what you thought of the episode, or how you feel about it in the comments below. So obviously we're up to episode 8 now, and you can go and see everything we've covered up to this point. But right now we're going to go through and cover the general beats of the story, what's happened, and everything that's gone into it so far. So without further ado, we'll kick off and we'll start going through episode 8, Rise. So what we see at the beginning of the episode, and you can see for those of you that are watching along on YouTube, you'll see the usual slideshow screenshots that we have. The Sword of Baal is under siege from enemy ships. We saw that in the previous episode as well, and we can see that Gene Stealers and Gene Stealer cultists are pouring onto the ship. We find out that on the bridge, the final bastion, as said, in the last episode, it cannot fall. The turret defenses have expended their ammo, so they're all out, and all that stands between the crew and the cultists is the blast door. Captain Livia, she's not having this, so she gives the order to begin the rituals of destruction. Of course, as this is 40k, you don't just hit the self-destruct button. You have to have a ritual. Someone's going to dash some holy oil on something, and a bell might chime, that sort of thing. So what happens is she kicks off that ritual of destruction. One of the pilots at this point asks about waiting for Hadriel, because he still had a plan to get them released from the from the dock. Hadriel being the tech marine, the son of Mars, who fast becoming probably my favorite character in this series, but very, very good nonetheless. Olivia, she's okay waiting, but she says that if he fails, or if he can't complete his mission, she won't see the ship become Nestvizinos. So, she's obviously very proud, doesn't want the ship falling into enemy hands. So the rituals are set, and they pray that Hadriel was able to complete what he needs to do quickly. And in the lower decks, we then swish over to Hadriel, and you can see he's just going hell for leather through the hordes. He's taken a bit of battle damage, but it's not slowing him down. The dude's a beast. He may be a tech priest, he may be a son of Mars, he may be a bit robotic, but he's taking everything that comes his way. And then a group of servitors stop and stare at him, a brief moment of comedic respite. He doesn't really get it. They don't know what's going on, but the smoke of battle flows from his armor, and you can see like one of his pauldrons is caved in, bit battle scarred. But it's a very cool moment, and like as I said, Hadriel, for me, fast becoming one of the main, well, one of my favorite characters in this series. Anyway, we keep going. This time we switch back from the Sword of Baal, and we go back onto the planet, and we see the Gene Stealers, or the Gene Stealer cult. They're prepping their own defenses. The Blood Angels themselves, the squad that's now with the captain, they are rising through the tower, heading towards where they believe the patriarch is holed up, so that they can go and rid the planet of this infestation. The tech witch, as she's referred to, the magus that has so far delivered the blood angels to this point, is we're made aware of her perspective, and the brother, or the brother and sister, the siblings that are leading the Gene Stealer cult, they're having a bit of an argument, in that the female part, the sister, she's scolding her brother for failing, and sort of says, I'll send the true angels to defeat these false angels that are heading our way. He says he will stop them, even if it means stopping them right at the door of the sanctuary. And he's leading his troops in the stairways, ready to meet the blood angels. And she tells him that he can do what he likes, it doesn't matter. The patriarch is waking, or father, their father is waking. Obviously, as everyone knows, if you're in the Gene Stealer cult, ultimately you're batshit crazy, and you're just you're biomatter, you're a bio feed for the horde. But they don't know this, and they're obviously, that five-armed emperor, the patriarch, is preparing to wake. So the blood angels are riding the lift shaft to the top of the tower, and even in 40k, lifts still have music. Of course they do. But no, it's quite an atmospheric piece. Tiro, one of the Marines, stamps on a servo skull, and the music stops. Again, a nice comical bit of interaction. It's quite interesting in that we see, obviously, a bit of to and fro between the captain and his group of Marines, and their understanding of where they kind of sit and what they've gone through at this point. It's quite interesting that they don't really take any guff on this elevator ride, which is a bit of a turn in fortunes if we look at everything that's gone before. Up to this point, the Gene Stealer cult has been able to take down, a squad of the first, so all of the Terminators, the captain's guard, no mean feat. And then also, they were getting pretty punished earlier in the tunnels as well. But here on the lift, they're able to just do what they need to do. So they're getting up to the top of the lift. Now, back to the ship. Hadriel and his servers are finally, they're getting busy getting the Dreadnought online. And again, it's not just, you don't just turn him on. You have to ring a bell. You have to get some holy oil. This is 40k after all. He's bringing all of the functions online. He's saying his prayers, and he's, there's a bit of banter. I say banter, Hadriel. There's a bit of back and forth between the servitors and what's happened, and he's finishing his prayers to the machine god until finally the sarcophagus of Lord Ignis is placed onto the chassis of his Dreadnought. Very cool moment, and that this is going to be, when it all comes together, it's going to be pretty badass. So we're looking forward to this. We switch back to the Blood Angels. They finish with the swarm, continue up, determined to wipe this infestation from the planet, purge the unclean, and they emerge from the platform leaving kind of gory mess. There's some very good Gene Stealer kills in here involving gears and the lips, so it's quite cool. And they approach the sanctuary of the Gene Stealer cult, the Patriarch. At this point, the brother cultist appears behind them, followed by another horde of his hybrids, who immediately attack. Brother Orfeo immediately begins struggling, and everything goes red for him. Bit of the first kicking in. He orders Ancaeus and Khazarian to take two brothers and breach the door, and he and the rest will buy them time. Reluctantly, they obey. Simultaneously, while this is happening, Hadriel prays for Ignis to wake up, and the Brood Lord begins to stir. So it's all coming together at this point. We've got a climactic moment where it's the last stand, or they're buying time for their brothers and the Blood Angels. You've got Hadriel awakening the Dreadnought on the ship, and then you've also got the Brood Lord, or the Patriarch in this case, awakening. The Patriarch stands displaying his full size. And while that's happening, and then we also then see the lights of the Dreadnought, the letterbox slit go red, and you hear the robotic voice as he wakes, bellowing, "I am the death of foes." Who knows the last time he woke? Could have been years ago, but up he gets, and he's ready to kick some ass, hopefully. And that's where we end. So that's where we get to. That's what's happened in the episode. I think it's a good episode. I don't think it's the best. I don't think it's the best in the series so far, but I think it's a bridging episode. So it's not going to be. It's there entirely to set us up and establish what's coming next. I think the way it gets to the climax towards the end, the way it sets up what hopefully is going to be a bit of a humdinger of the next episode, where Lord Ignis is going to come out and take out a lot of these Gene Stealers and Gene Stealer hybrids that are taking on the Sword of Baal, and then what is inevitably going to be, I think, a bit of a mixed fortunes for the Blood Angel squad. I have a feeling that we may see one or two of them fall. I think one or two of them may also succumb to the Red Thirst in this instance, rather than the Rage. So we'll see whether that actually comes to pass. But I know, one way or another, it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, it's a good episode. It's a needed episode in terms of its bridge to what I think will be, the climactic end of the series. As I said, it's okay. It's well worth a watch. If you've got this far in the series, you're not going to stop now. So it's definitely a continuation of that. As I said, I think the character that shines most for me is the Hadriel, the Tech Marine. But everyone's going to have their favourites, right? I quite like him. I think he's particularly funny in the way he reacts to things. But anyway, that's our review of the episode. That's kind of what happened and the key story bits or story beats. Of course, please put comments below. We're more than happy to have the debate, have the discussion on how we think it's all coming together. As I said, I think it's a good episode. It's probably not the best, but it's continued to build up nicely for the finale of this season. Where can you find us if you do obviously want to have that debate or the discussion? On Instagram, yeah, Iron and Ceramite. I mean, all of these, you just search Iron and Ceramite, and that's where we are. But if you go to Instagram and use that as a hashtag, we'll feature you on the channel. We'll share your hobby progress, whatever miniatures you're painting or other projects you've got on the go. Similarly, Facebook, there's a group on there. Come join. Again, a bit of discussion, bit of hobby tips, a bit of ask the community, so that you can get your questions answered and find out what other people do as well. Likewise on Twitter, if Twitter is your thing, you can get updated when we drop new videos, when we've got new bits and pieces going on the YouTube channel or the podcast, so you can stay notified of everything there. YouTube, well, you're here, so you know where we are, but please follow the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, share with your friends or anyone else that you think might be interested. Everything like that really helps us out, helps to get us more organic traffic on YouTube itself, but also helps the channel generally. So any liking and sharing is always welcome. If you do listen to our podcast or podcasts, because we do quite a few now, obviously you can find them on all good podcast services, including Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are on Twitch. For those eagle-eyed, you would have seen there was a Twitch stream just the other day with a very own John doing a bit of painting. I believe he may have played a game as well. I don't know if he fired up Space Marine, but he definitely started off with a bit of painting. So you can see us on Twitch. Normally we'll be doing something like that. It could be painting, could be playing a game. If you do like what we do and you do want to support us, you can do so two different ways. You can go to Patreon and drop us a sub, and obviously that will all go back into the channel. So greatly appreciated if you do that. And what we'll also do is obviously feature you on Instagram, as well as call you out on our podcast. And then likewise, Element Games, we have an affiliate link. If you're buying hobby stuff, buy it via the link. It helps us out, and again, that money will go back into the channel, whether it be equipment, whether it be bits and pieces for our battle reports, but all worth doing. And then finally, it's not getting as much love as it used to. I think people are over combat cards, but if you are playing combat cards and you are into it, by all means join our clan, see how you stack against the rest of the Iron Ceramite team, and you know, as I said, join up anyway if you're playing it, because it's, you know, it's good fun, and it's more of the hobby, which we all love. Anyway, that's about everything for this episode. As I said, like, share, subscribe, all of the good stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying Angels of Death, and you know, have a click around the channel and maybe view another couple of videos while you're here. Anyway, have a lovely rest of your day.
As always, we would like to thank you for listening to our Iron and Ceramite podcast. If you liked us, then you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and any other good podcast services. Just remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.